So you have 4 health alerts. One is prevent injury. This is the muscle fatigue health alert. It's based on the recovery lactate levels, and that, as any health alerts that we measure, it's an early stage health alert. That means it's a small problem now. It's not a big problem yet. So what you need to advise to your client with this health alert is, this is a muscle fatigue health alert, and it could be linked to a tying up episode, or just your horse can be fatigued the next day. So if they are running like multiple days for one event, the horse can be fatigued, and so the run for the next day, it could be not the best run. Then we have the pain alert. Okay, this alert, it's really important because we have a really high accuracy level for this health alert, and every time we have this health alert, the horse is in pain. So this is like, we can say that this is a small problem because maybe you cannot see it with the horse at rest, but in my opinion, it's a big problem because the horse is in pain, and if you keep pushing the horse, you can have an injury right away because it's already in pain. Okay, so please advise to check with the vet to find the pain location. We have the vet usually makes a lameness exam, but then we have other cases with EPM cases or other things that were causing the pain. Okay, then you have the bleeding risk alert. The bleeding risk alert, this is important one because everybody will ask you something regarding this health alert. So yes, it's an early stage health alert. The problem is small, and sometimes you cannot see it with a scope because the confirmation will be with a scope, but sometimes you cannot even see it with a scope because the bleeding is happening in the lower airways, and the scope is not, you cannot see the lower airways with a scope. So if you have this health alert, you need to advise your client to check with the vet, but also to think about lungs treatments like nebulizations or similar. But of course, we always advise to check with the vet so they can have the right protocol to make the nebulizations. If they do that, in a couple of weeks, they can improve the health condition, and they can keep pushing and keep doing the same workout. But this health alert, it's really important because it's happening, it's happening. The difference with the lung inflammation health alert is it could be linked. You know that bleeding and inflammation are connected, so you always have inflammation when you have bleeding, but you don't always have bleeding when you have inflammation, and these are cases like allergies or asthma. So when you have this health alert, it's about inflammation, and it could be not just bleeding, but it could be asthma, it could be allergies. The general idea is the horse is not receiving all the oxygen he needs, so he doesn't have all the energy he needs, and that's why the run was not great. Okay, and so again, this is a small problem, not a big problem yet, but the idea is that they can actually fix it and solve it when it's a small problem. So a couple of weeks of nebulization, it's usually the best thing to get rid of the inflammation and keep going with the conditioning. Advice to check with a vet. The confirmation vet exam would be a BAL. The BAL will confirm what we are seeing. The BAL is invasive and expensive, so sometimes people don't want to do it, and because of those reasons. The vets working with us for a long time, they already know the accuracy of these health alerts. So they started with VALs after this health alert, but they no longer do that because they know the accuracy of the health alert. But I'm explaining you everything just in case, okay? So recommend to check with the vet. The last thing I want to tell you about all of the health alerts and conditioning program is that the conditioning program will be delivered when the horse is showing a health alert. It's going to be a lighter effort conditioning program that is supportive to the health condition. Okay, we are not pushing the horse because the horse is dealing with a health issue and he needs energy to do that. So we are not taking all the energy he needs through the conditioning because he needs to deal with the health alert. And that is the approach, just to step back a little bit, give him the time he needs to recover from the health alert, and then we can keep going, okay?